Hi everyone, Liz here, thanks for stopping by. So I'm going to do a bit of a whip and chat today while I kit up, or whip and kit up. This canvas that I've had since, I think it's either August or September 2020. So it's sort of 2.5 years old. It's put me off because it is double-sided tape. It is rounds though, so that's not too bad. And it is by 50 by 60, and it's from the Kzinzu store, I think. I got it from AliExpress when I first started diamond painting. It is, if I can find the little sheet, a Scottie dog, of course, with a lot of animals. And yeah, I got it and I thought, oh, I love that, I want it on my wall. And yeah, there it sat in my stash for such a long time, and I thought, right, I'm going to get it out and we're going to have a go at doing this one. It is 34 colours. We do have DMC codes. It looks like the most drills we've got is 3865, the white, which must be the fence and a bit of the bunnies, and we've got 8,000 of those, so it's a big one for me. It's the first full coverage large painting I've done. I know 50 by 60 isn't large for some people, it's huge for me because I like my little ones, because I like to get them done and get that satisfaction. Anyway, so let's move that out of the way. I've got, that is the chair squeaking, by the way. I am still sticking to the fact that it's the chair. I've got a 60 bottle storage case, which actually aren't very clean, but anyway, we'll go with it for now. I went and printed out, look, I was trying to be organised, and I printed out my key code, only to then discover I've already done one. But this one doesn't have numbers on it. It is a little bit... Oh, and I've not got all of them on it either. I've missed the last two off the bottom. So I've tried to be organised and not being very organised at all. Okay, so we'll go with this one, and I'm just going to write the numbers on it, and then we'll put them onto the bottles. I think that will be best to do. So where can I write the numbers? Hope these are all stuck. Yeah, what I had to do, looks like I've copied this and folded it over so that this big middle bit wasn't showing, so that they'd fit on my bottle tops, and they are only just going to fit as well. But I do like to work on numbers as well, so I'm just going to write the numbers, which isn't going to be the easiest thing to do. Oh dear, this isn't working well. Maybe I'll use that one and then just use the last two off those. I think that will work better. So let me grab my Xyron. Okay, I need to cut it out first, Liz. It feels like ages since I've done a kitting up. Which it probably is, to be fair. It was probably before Christmas. Because I did mainly specials, and I don't really tend to kit those up. I sometimes kit up the specials that have a lot of colours, that are the bigger ones, or the wreaths. The wreaths tend to be easier if they're kitted up. But no, I tend to, on the whole, do special drills without kitting up. So we'll put those through first. Got a waste of paper, but they'll go in the recycling. Okay, everything's purple. So if you've not seen one of these Xyron runners before, it's basically whatever you put through this little slot here becomes a sticker. So just pop that into the top there so that it just catches on the sticky at the bottom. I hate this bit here that you end up wasting. It really does make me cry. But yeah, it's just the way it goes, unfortunately. The way the machine works, you do lose a little bit. And if you saw recently, I have got some new refills for this, because you can see there, look, this one is running out. Okay, just give it a bit of a squidge down. And then when you take the top cover off, any of the sticky that's not gone underneath the paper stays on the little carrier sheet, which you can now throw away. Sorry about the glare as well, the shadows. I did start off doing this about 2 hours ago, and then things just got in the way again, so I've come back to it and I'm determined to get it done. And I'll let you have a little catch up about what's been going on in our lives. Okay, as I say, hope everybody is doing well. Our lives aren't brilliant at the moment, I have to say. We've had a little bit of a setback with hubby and his health. I'll get into that in a bit. Nothing, well, it is drastic. It's drastic for us. It's just another thing going on in our lives. Millie Moo is doing well. She's downstairs with her dad at the moment. It's that time of day where Rosie and Charlie, the little spaniels across the road, will be coming home, so she's sat waiting for them. Yeah, she does like to wait for them to come home, and when they woof as they get out the car to say, we're here, we're here, we're here, she likes to woof back saying, I know, I know, I know. Oh dear. But thank goodness for diamond painting is all I can say. I think that is keeping me sane at the moment. I'm just ploughing through, to be honest, special drill projects more than anything. Just quick fixes just to keep me going. Oh, I didn't mention as well, look, that these all came in these. Oh no, one of them's escaped. Horrid little bags, which I don't like doing. Nothing wrong with the drills in these bags. And when I first started diamond painting, I have to say most of the kits that I ever got came in these little bags, but it just takes so long to open all the little bags and put them into your bottles. So yeah, that's the only reason more than anything why I'm not keen on them. So that's 3804, and then we want 3853 and 3865 on that one. Okay, right, let's get these numbered then. So I've got my 60 bottle zip up case. These are my favourites, these cases. I've got lots of others as well. I have done videos on all the different, well, as much different storage as I have with bottles and Tic Tac cases and things. So if you want to look out for that playlist, that's in my playlists, hints and tips, I believe it's in. I'm trying to get organised there as well, a little bit better than I have with doing this today. Oh, never mind. Look, these fit on these bottles so much nicer. So yeah, so hubby is due for his cataract operation next week. We went again yesterday. Honestly, we're just sort of like, well, even the receptionist at the eye hospital said, hello, are you back again? Came to know us. To be fair, I think it's because hubby's in a wheelchair as well. You know, she maybe remembers us a little bit. And we have been going nearly 3 years now. So yeah, we've run quite a few different treatments. He has injections sort of roughly every 4 weeks in both eyes. And when they do this cataract operation, they're going to put like a little steroid sort of chip in the back of his eye, an implant, which is like a slow release drug, which should then mean we don't have to go as often. Well, at least on the first eye he's having done, and then when he's had his second eye done, then fingers crossed it'll work on that as well. So, you know, maybe we'll the receptionist might not recognise us next time we go. Anyway, so yeah, we went last week for a pre-op and saw the surgeon, and he went through it all, and hubby just about passed out. He doesn't like needles, he's terrified of the operation. Thank you to the lady who's had the operation done and sent some words of encouragement for hubby. I have passed them on, and he said thank you very much. It means a lot. It's very kind of you, thank you. Anybody that's been with me for a while will know that I have had quite a few operations on my eyes. Well, quite a few, 2. Let me grab a tray. I want to be throwing these away. Get rid of those huge scissors there. We'll just keep the little ones. Grab a bin. yeah, I had an operation to repair the gel at the back of my eye, and sadly the first time I had it done, it didn't work, so I had to have it redone about 4 weeks later. So yeah, that was fun. That was 2020 while lockdown was on. That was yeah, quite a bit going on in those days, and I still had to look after hubby as well. So yeah, do you know, I didn't even get a cup of tea made for me when I came out of hospital. In fact, I remember coming home from the hospital and I got dropped off, and there's all these, well, there's 3 people in the living room, and I just sort of like stood there for a minute, and then I said, would anybody like a cup of tea? And everybody said, oh yes please. So I ended up making the cup of tea when I'm supposed to be laid flat. But anyway, such is life. Oh look, I must have been doing some of my experiments on what containers hold, because that's some 3865 to go with those there. I'm hoping all these colours are here, because it's been quite a while. I'm just sort of sorting them out a little bit so that I can get the colours roughly in the bag. So, well, I know what I mean. Yeah, just sort them out a little bit so that they're in sort of a rough order. And I can see if I can find that one that's escaping everywhere, because there's little gems everywhere. Oh dear. Right, and get the ones with the 1 bag. And the smaller amounts, might do those first. 905, 907, these are all the 9s, these are all the 3Os. And that's a 1, and that's a 3/8. 3/8s, 3/8s. Yeah, and then, so we went for the pre-op, yesterday. No, not yesterday, last week. Don't even know what day it is. And they said, oh yeah, you know, we went through, we signed the consent form and everything, and then we had to go back again yesterday. And then they tell us, oh, we've got to do a COVID test before we can have it done. So fortunately, I've got some COVID testing kits. So I will be doing a COVID test before we go to the hospital. We have to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning, well, 7:30 in the morning for an 8 o'clock operation. They've added onto it that, you know, he does have problems sitting or laying for a long time, so they do want him to be fairly quick in and out if possible. So hopefully, hot pink, sorry, just got distracted there. Hopefully he will be in and out fairly soon. We won't have to be hanging around, but I'm going to have to come home. I'm not allowed to go into the hospital with him and wait with him. I've got to come home. So that was a bit upsetting for him, because he, I think I'm his comfort blanket. I've been called a lot of things, but yeah, that'll do. I don't mind. So yeah, it's because he forgets things. So he likes me to be there if they ask him questions and he doesn't know the answers. Okay, that's another 4. That's 7. That's 8, 4, 4. Actually, these aren't too bad. I can actually read these numbers. Sometimes with these, you can't read the numbers. So which one's open? Which is the little devil that's got escapees? Oh, well, it must be that one, look, because there's hardly anything in it. But where are they escaping from? Oh, the end. Oh, look. Oh, wow, that's completely open. So let's put that in there for now. Ping, 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 off they go all over the place. So we'll do that colour first. We've only got 2 that have only got 1 colour. So now then, let's see if we can tip these into this tray without making too much of a mess. Oh, not too bad, not too bad. This is just like a lockable freezer bag, one of those with the little plastic things on. Before I bought the nice posh little pouches that I now use for larger paintings with larger amounts of drills. I actually used to use these because they were cheaper. So that's because, you know, this is fairly early on in my diamond painting journey that I started this one. So it won't be food safe anymore now, so I won't be able to use it for food. But just get these off the desk. Okay, so we are on 936. Okay. Scoot across there, girls. And let's just, and then we'll work our way through these. Opening all these little packets. I'm going to be finding these. They're like an army green, aren't they, these? 936. So, fortunately, these are all in number order, which is the way I like to work. Well, the number order from the top to the bottom, like 1 to whatever, but they're also in DMC order as well, which is the other way that I like to work. Okay, so it will be interesting to see how long it actually takes me to do this one. I'm going to try and do a little bit every day. It's a good job it's not squares, otherwise it would probably still be sat waiting to be done, because well, I am actually doing a very small, I think it's 20 by 25 custom diamond painting of Millie. It's one that I've turned into an art image. And yeah, it's a nice one, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to tackle that one. I already had it. Did I already have it kitted up? I think I already had it kitted up, and I thought, right, I am going to give that one a go. Just grab some labels, because I don't think all these are going to go in here. So just keep checking which number I am working on. So they might do 7. Yeah, it depends how many were in that other packet, I suppose. Oh, look, that packet's open as well. Oh, and that packet's open. Oh, they've all got, yeah, they've all got, like, not quite caught the, as the seal, as they've sealed them all together. Yeah, they are. They're all just merging into one. So it's probably a good job I've come to this kit to have a go at doing these, otherwise they would all be escaping. Okay, pop those in there. I've got quite a few spare bottles as well, so we should be okay with this one, I think. It's just a case of gauging it a little bit. And yeah, hubby's downstairs, I say, with Millie at the moment, and he's watching telly. So I said, all right, is it okay if I just pop upstairs? I said, yeah, fine. Oh, and I've just made a right set of pig's ear of that. Never mind. Will I get all these in here? Quite possibly not. The way to get them into the tray is not to throw them all over the desk and lose them, so that they then fit. Let's just give it a little tap down on the desk. That's a piece of the desk. That's not actually drills, Liz. I am now seeing things. Okay, so my eyesight's not brilliant either, so we're a right pair, really. I think we're going to be one of those couples that shares glasses or shares a magnifying glass or something when we get older, you know. Pass me the magnifying glass, let me have a look. Anyway, they have all fitted in there. So the next number is 934, so that should be somewhere near 3634. Okay, and we'll do them a couple at a time. Shall I see if I can put them? Actually, I'll do them one at a time, because I'm quite tired as well at the moment. I've not been sleeping the best. So yeah, don't know whether I'm sure I have mentioned before. Hubby is type 2 diabetic. But it is insulin controlled. It did get bad, and it is now insulin controlled, you know, with everything else that he's had. Let's say we play consultant bingo, you know, when we go to the hospital. I think there's most departments that we've actually seen a consultant for. We went to bladder and bowel last year that sort of like did talk about his kidneys and everything, and you know, they've always said that he has, from being a child, had problems with his kidneys apparently. He does vaguely recollect it being mentioned when he was little. Sadly, his mum and anybody that wouldn't know anything about it are no longer with us. And yeah, his parents and his family were that little bit older, so unfortunately they have now passed. But it was only when he was in ICU that they did mention it to me. Well, I knew nothing about it because he'd never mentioned anything to me about it. And, you know, from time to time, as we've seen the various consultants, it has been mentioned, but nobody seemed overly concerned, overly particularly bothered. So we've just sort of like accepted it, you know, as one of those things that, you know, he has one kidney that's not brilliant. Anyway, we got this appointment through a while ago, and for whatever reason, it clashed with other appointments. Hubby's been poorly and we've not been able to go. So we finally got to go last Thursday, last week. I'm looking for 224. And we went to see another doctor. And it's in this nephrology department. Well, I've never heard of nephrology, I have to say. Excuse my ignorance. And just asked, you know, well, looked up really what it was, and it's all to do with kidneys and stuff. I'm like, oh, right, okay, yeah. So we're back on, you know, maybe they've decided that they're going to look into it a bit more now, because, you know, it is a year on. Strangely enough, it's actually a year this week since his chemotherapy started. So, you know, that's so fast. I can't believe it's a year. So we just thought, oh, you know, just maybe a routine check, just another chat with somebody. Because we do seem to have these things from time to time. Anyway, this doctor sat there and she said, do you know why you're here? And we said, well, no, not really. And she said, all right, well, your kidneys aren't good at all. And they're working at sort of like the emergency threshold now. I'm like, pardon? What? And she said that if they go any lower, then you're going to have to look at going on dialysis, and you're going to have to look at kidney transplant. And we're like, what? Where did this come from? I mean, it literally has just hit us like a bombshell. It's just, it's like, well, okay. And she sat and explained everything, you know, about your kidneys, and that they're not working properly, and that we'll be assigned a nurse, and we'll have to come in and go and talk to this nurse, and she'll tell us all about what's involved and all the different things that they'll have to do and the different types of dialysis. And then we said, well, you know, you had chemotherapy last year. And she says, oh, well, you won't be a candidate then for any kidney transplants because you've had the chemotherapy last year. And I went, oh. Honestly, there's so many questions that we really wish we'd sort of like drilled down on and asked. But we were just in such shock. And honestly, it's just really blown our minds. I mean, yeah, we're just going to have to sort of get on with it. To be honest, it felt surreal. It was like she was talking about somebody that we didn't know. It was like they had somebody else's notes. You know, I think at one bit I did say, these are correct, aren't they? And she said, oh, yes, yes. You know, I just, well, anyway, so, yeah, if anybody is on kidney dialysis, you will know what it's like. It's, I say, just been an absolute blow to us. It's just come out of the blue. We've gone from people saying, you know, there is something there, but not seeming overly concerned and not really bothering. I can 100% say nobody has ever mentioned that they were so bad that it was likely that he would have to go on to dialysis. Obviously he's very, very upset because he's had so much done and gone through so much in the last 4 years that he's just point blank refusing to have it done. I'm not having any more needles stuck in me, and you know, got very, very upset, and I can quite understand that. You know, it's not a nice thing to have to face. I don't know what I'd do really. I suppose I would just, I don't know. I'm not in his shoes. He's, you know, had a horrible, well, it's coming up 4 years now. 4 years in April since he first went in hospital, and then 7 months later came out. So yeah, quite a blow. So we were just we were sort of like meeting some little personal targets that we've sort of set for ourselves. This is to, you know, going out and going out for longer days, and using facilities, shall we say, when we go to different places, because, you know, it's not easy. It's quite a daunting prospect when you're just used to being at home, using your own facilities, and suddenly you're thinking about going into public ones and things. We've been very lucky. The ones we've been to have been okay, and it was quite a milestone the first time we went into a disability one, and disability toilet cubicle, and you know, managed, and we were real pleased. You know, it's like a big step forward, and doing all that things like that. And then managed to go at Christmas to our daughter's house, and hubby got in there. You know, that was good, because that's the first time he's been in anybody else's house since this all happened. So, you know, it's all just little baby steps, and you just think you're achieving, and things are just starting to get back to a new normal, shall we say. And then yeah, this has suddenly come to Flores. You know, we've been thinking, I think I mentioned before, my brother and all the family live down London way, so we were thinking we want to go down there this year, but we were going to book, put them all in, look, not concentrating, and have a night in a hotel, probably about an hour's drive away, so 2 hours drive possibly, so that, you know, see how we get on in a hotel room, because obviously, you know, you have disabled rooms, but there's obviously disabilities vary an awful lot. Quite a few people using wheelchairs can actually stand, even if they can't walk, they can stand, you know, and manoeuvre around a little bit, whereas hubby can't stand at all. He still has one leg, but unfortunately he can't use it at all. Well, a little bit to balance, but on the whole, yeah, he can't use it. So, you know, you've got different challenges of being able to get on and off things and in and out of things and everything. So we wanted to go and try, and we'd do one night, and then maybe we'd go and spend a bit longer, and then we'd do the longer journey, because we've not done a really long journey anywhere, and see how we get on. And yeah, so we were sort of looking forward to that this year. And yeah, now we've got this to contend with, which, you know, the lady sat there with a big smile saying, don't worry. And, you know, there's, I mean, I know there's thousands and thousands of people go through it, and maybe we ought to, you know, join a group or something and listen to what other people have to say. But there's 2 different methods apparently that we can possibly choose from. We don't know, because hubby's got scars in his tummy from operations, from previous operations, so they don't know whether we would be able to use the method that you do at home, which is then you do the treatment every day for, I think it's 20 minutes. I don't know whether it's twice a day. Honestly, I can't quite remember what she said. I'm amazed that we actually remember anything from that day, to be fair. And yeah, or there's the one where you have to go into hospital 3 times a week, and it would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you would have to stay in there for, like, I think it's 3 hours. A little bit like the chemotherapy, really, I suppose. Yeah, so, but again, because he's had the sepsis, the infections in his arms that he had 3 years ago, that's left an awful lot of scar in there, so they're not quite sure where they would put the access in his arm. So yeah, I mean, he's just got to be awkward. He's always been awkward. I said to him, well, nothing's ever straightforward with you anyway, is it? I mean, we do try and laugh about it, because if we didn't, we'd probably just sit down and cry. So yeah, and then obviously going away, you've got to take it with you. If you're doing the one at home, you've got to take all the equipment with you. You've got to have somewhere that is sterile to be able to do it. I may end up losing my craft room as well in the house if that one did happen, because he's got to have a sterile room. And I suppose the craft room that I've got is the only room that's sort of spare, really. So I suppose I could diamond paint round him. No, I'm only kidding. So yes, I may end up losing my craft room just as I'm getting it organised and sorted, but such is life, you know, that's just what we have to do. Or if he has to, you know, if they go down the hospital route, then apparently you have to organise that whenever you're away on your designated days, you've got to make sure that you're booked into a hospital that can actually do it for you whilst you're away. So, you know, going abroad will be fun. Yeah. So I think that's probably going to be out of the window now. Not that we've been abroad for quite a while anyway, because we've got Millie Mo, our little Scottie dog, and we do like to take her away on holiday with us. In fact, we've not been away without Millie Mo, so you know, it's one of those, but it's just another door that's sort of like slammed shut, really. I know you can do it and you can pay, you know, she just quite happily sat there and said to us, oh, well, there are firms that can organise it all for you. And I thought, yeah, at a cost. You know, I mean, if we did go abroad, I'm sure insurance on hubby would probably be more than the cost of the holiday. And then if you're adding this on top of it as well, you're suddenly like tripling the cost of your holiday. Yeah, oh dear. Anyway, so that's our not brilliant news. As I say, it's knocked us for 6. I've been down and painting. I've not felt like doing any YouTube videos, so we've been sort of away from it for a few days. Yeah, it's just been really, really difficult. I'm very much that if I'm upset, I can't talk. She says that she's got a YouTube channel. No, I'm very much, I like to sit and mull over things and get them straight in my own head. Whereas hubby likes to talk to everybody. And it's me that does the YouTube channel and it's him that doesn't. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what's been happening with us. We're still very upset. And I think if I thought about it, I would just want to sit down and cry, because I just feel as though at the moment we take one step forward and 23 back. So yeah, you know, it's all going to be, well, sounding selfish, more for me to do. You do get sort of help to start off with, and the nurses make sure that, you know, they'll come and make sure you can do everything before they leave you to it and check up on you, I suppose. But, you know, there's just such a lack of doctors and nurses in this country at the moment. It does make you think, oh, I wonder how long they will come. I know they won't abandon us. And the district nurses that we used to have coming out, well, for nearly 10 months, I think, well, it was nearly a year. And then again later on, and again later on, yeah, we were same nurses. And so yeah, strange actually. They came out to give hubby his last COVID injection, and it was actually one of the district nurses that used to come every day when he first came out of hospital. And she said, oh, I knew I'd been to this house, I remember it because of Millie. So yeah, Millie makes a big impression on everybody. She's a little treasure. I don't know what we'd do without her. I call her my reason to smile every day, because she just makes me laugh. She's just so funny. She's been out for a walk today and been with her boyfriend Oscar, who's a Scottie dog that lives around the corner. She's just mad on him. I don't think it even really matters that is another boy, Scottie. I think it's just the fact that it's another dog to play with. She just likes to play. She's 6 now, still very, very Scottie, still very, very puppy. And yeah, and he just sort of like looks at her as if to say, oh no, it's her again. She's going to bounce round me and want me to play, and I'm just going to stand there and look at her because I don't want to play. Oh dear. I don't know what we'd do without our animals, I really don't. Yeah. She's a little treasure at the minute. Alright, let's get this one. I haven't cut that one properly, so that's not very good. So, sorry if this is a bit depressing, this video. I'm trying not to be too depressing and downhearted, and I don't like passing it on to other people, but I thought you might like to know what's going on. I know a lot of people do say how's hubby and how's things going, and up until last Thursday I was saying yeah, great, we're doing okay, really well. I think the thing that upsets him more than anything is that he's feeling so well. You know, he says, I just can't believe that they're telling me that I've got, you know, virtually not a lot of kidney function, because I just feel so well. I don't feel ill. I feel better than I've felt in years. And I was like, quick, oh, can I have that in writing? Because he's always been a bit of a moaner, you know. He's, you know, from even meeting him, I mean, he always used to listen to the doctor's surgery programmes, you know, when people phone in about different medical conditions on radio channels. He used to, when I first met him, he used to travel around a lot in his car. It was like an area manager assistant type thing. And yeah, he used to come in and he always had a medical dictionary. Strangely enough, it was always in the toilets. I think he used to sit on the throne, as it were, looking up medical conditions. So yeah, he's always been a bit like that. Oh, and they've just gone everywhere. Fortunately, I have plenty of spare rounds in all of the colours, so I'm going to be okay if I have lost any. But yeah, that was quite spectacular, that one, Liz. Well done. So yeah, he's always been a bit like that. But, you know, just so funny. He'd come in and he'd say, oh, just look in my eyes. Do you think they look like this? And he was very easy to wind up as well. Now, sadly, of course, he's managed to just get everything wrong with him going. You know, we've just got a tick list now that we say, oh, no, you've not had that one. Do you want to try that one? We've not seen that specialist doctor. Shall we see if we can get something where you can go and see that one? Yeah, as I say, I'm you know, I'm making light of it. We just have to. We really just have to. But anyway, so that's been yeah, it was really. Say I've done quite a lot of diamond painting, quite a lot of unboxings to do. I've done quite a bit of spending as well. I do get to a point where I just think, oh, I'm sick of saving. There's all sorts we need doing in the house. A lot of the things now are getting old, and you know what it's like. You get one thing new and then everything else starts to look tatty. So keep doing that, don't I? Not putting them all in. Shout at me if you see me missing completely one. At least they've all got the numbers on, so I'm okay. Yes, our dishwasher has packed in. It's not washing, and I've always said I would get rid of my husband before I got rid of the dishwasher. When I got divorced, well, separated and then divorced from my first husband, the first thing I said was, I want the dishwasher. I know, first world of problems, eh? I just couldn't manage without it. I've had a dishwasher for 30 years and I don't intend to start washing up now. No, we wash up when we go on holiday and things. Although some of the places we've stayed in have had dishwashers. With having Millie Moo, we do tend to go self-catering quite a bit. Let's do the smaller numbers, the smaller amounts. 165 5. So yeah, so we've got to go and look for one of those. It'll only be a cheapie. I'm not into something with all bells and whistles, because to be fair, I'm at a point now where I just don't understand everything anymore. I finally had to get a new laptop. Oh my goodness, it's Windows 11. I was still using Windows 7. I think my laptop is 15 years old, and I was still quite happy using it. It's only the fact that it has now got so slow, and I've got to a point where I think the hard drive is going to go, and I don't want to leave myself with no laptop, because I do, if you look at my thumbnails, I do mess about with a little picture of Millie on most of my thumbnails. I like to add her onto the mix, because yeah, she's usually around somewhere when I'm diamond painting or making videos, so I like to add her picture on. I can't see to do things that I used to do anymore, sadly. I used to do a lot of designing and manipulating and messing around. I can't do all that anymore. My eyesight's not good enough for cropping pictures and things. And I'm still using a very, very old version of Paint Shop Pro. I think it's Paint Shop Pro 10. Yeah, no, it's 12. I did upgrade to 12. I got the free trial of 17, and I thought, oh, blimey. I just don't want to be learning something new. I don't think it's that I can't. I'm sure if I put my mind to it, I probably would be able to. But I'm very much of, I've got other things I want to do. I've got other things that I need to do. And spending time learning something new isn't particularly something I want to do, unfortunately. Oh, I am having a right moan today, aren't I? You know, I'd sooner be diamond painting. I think that's why I like diamond painting, because it's easy. You just sit and you're putting little plastic dots onto a canvas, and you're still achieving so much without really, it's going to sound awful now, too much brain power, if that's the right word. As long as you're putting the right one on the right place, then, you know, you can more or less just switch off. And that motion of movement of your hand is quite relaxing to me. I quite like doing that. So yeah, I don't know. Everything just seems so complicated these days. I mean, hubby's got obviously he has to do his bloods for his diabetes every day, and his little machine thinks the batteries have gone. Well, could I heckers like figure out how to put new batteries in it? In the end, good old Google. So that's one of the reasons I was say 2 hours before I got doing this video, because I was Googling how to take the back off the little machine. Well, Googling where the batteries were and how to take the back off the machine so that I can replace the batteries. Oh dear. And then we've got hundreds of batteries, and it's those round flat batteries, but it's the huge ones. I'm doing it again, look. Oh dear. At least I'm still putting them in the right one. And I haven't got any of those. So out of literally, you know, when you buy those cards in the cheap shops and they've got all the different small batteries on, we've got about 4 of those, but they don't go up to the really big ones. So we're going to have to buy some new batteries. Actually, there might be one in the clock. I could maybe pinch the one out of the clock till I can get to the shops and get another one. Now, there's an idea. Oh, still one there, look, Liz. If this gets done, I'll be amazed. Okay, anyway, it's making it a longer kitting up video, I suppose. Just hope that it uploads now. And I keep looking at new video editors as well. For my YouTube videos, and I just think, oh no, I use the one that comes from Apple, that comes with like your phone, and I just use that one, and I just think, no, I just don't want to be learning new stuff. I'm definitely at a point in my life where my head is so full and trying to remember things that if I start trying to put something new in it now, something else is going to drop out the other end. I have missed 2 appointments, got appointment times wrong. Well, we haven't missed them. When Millie was due to go for a haircut, I got it in my head that it was 3 o'clock, and it's written on the calendar as 1 o'clock. And the card that I've got is 1 o'clock, and I'm convinced I looked and saw 3 o'clock. And so, yeah, we turned up 2 hours too late, which is why she ended up having her haircut on her birthday. The kind lady did fit us in at a later date, because she couldn't fit us in that day, obviously, because we turned up, well, I'd turned up 2 hours late. What's that say? Is that 161? Yeah. And then one of hubby's hospital appointments, I was convinced it was 4:30, and it wasn't. It was 20 to 4. So there was a mad scramble. I mean, we always set off, to be fair, we always set off an hour early anyway, because we never know what the traffic's like, and the actual parking spots where, you know, the proper disabled parking spots that have like the gridded bit next to them so that I can get him in and out of the car, there's not many of them. So we usually go early. I mean, like yesterday when we went, we were 20 minutes sat in the car waiting for somebody to move so we could get in the space. So yeah, fortunately we got there just on time, and we just went straight in, so that was pretty good anyway. We didn't do too badly. But yeah, I've never forgotten things. I've, you know, always been reasonably organised. Well, what is I've never forgotten things? I have forgotten things, but I've always been reasonably organised, and particularly with hubby's appointments, yeah, my brain's just going. Oh dear. Okay, so hot pink, hot pink. It's got to have a hot pink. I think it'd be really nice when it's done, this one, because even though it's got very small animals, it's even got a hamster on it. It is a large size, so it should show up. I'm hoping it does anyway. It should be a nice picture. I can't imagine hubby will want it in the living room. But you never know. He surprises me sometimes. They just say, yeah, we'll have that. That'll be okay. We'll do that one. Oh, I've got to be careful not to flick these because they easily jump out. Oh, I'd forgotten what fun it was, these horrible little bags. Horrible little bags. Right. Do this one this way. Oop. Yeah, I was asking the neighbour about Thomas, and he said no, he's not seen him for a while either, but nobody's overly concerned. We all think he will be coming back at some point, so as soon as there's a Thomas spot, I will let you know. Anybody new, Thomas is a little tabby cat. Well, he's like tabby and white. Where am I? 3799 3799, and he's deaf and silent. When he meows, nothing comes out, and he can't hear you come in, and he's got a raggy ear, and he's got no tail, and all he ever wants to do is come in your house. And yeah, if anybody that's been with me a while, obviously you'll know that yeah, he got into our house and trying to actually coax a deaf cat from under the bed and get his attention, because he goes straight upstairs. As soon as he comes in your house, he doesn't go looking for food or anywhere, just goes straight upstairs and into your bedroom. And yeah, so anyway, he's not been around for a while, but we're sure he's okay, so that's all right. Sadly, we have got, oh, it's going to be a real depressing video, this one, sorry. We have got another cat roundabout that is catching birds. I know it's nature and they can't do anything about it, and I'm very iffy about putting collars with bells on cats, because I've when I had my cats, I was always very frightened that the collars would get caught around tree branches and things and choke them. So I never really used collars on my cats. But yeah, there's been a few poorly little birds just lying around. So yeah, I think it's the big black one. I think I mentioned a few videos ago that we came home not so long back and hubby thought there was a parcel on the doorstep, and it wasn't. It was a huge black cat. I think it's that one, and it is huge. You know, it really is a big cat. I'm presuming it's a Tom, because he's enormous. Right, so that's quite a big one. That's quite a big one. That's a big one. Oh, that's a little one. We'll do that one. 931. 931. Okay, there's a lot of nice colours in this one. It'd be a good one to do, a good variety. I'll just have to do a little square at a time. Cut the cover sheet into squares and do it that way, I think, rather than taking the cover sheet off. Well, it's an enormous cover sheet. It is all, actually, I think it's all in one piece. Yeah, it is. Look, this is in the days when you got cover sheets that were all in one piece, not in blinking 3 strips that end up leaving ridges on your paintings. Yeah, that is all a 50 by 60 cover sheet, all in one piece. Wow. Don't ask me what I'd do with it. It's just the crafter in me thinking, oh, I could do a lot with that, you know. Not that I can think what I could do with it, but yeah. Just seems a shame to cut it up. Oh dear. So anyway, what else have I been up to? Yeah, it was Millie's birthday. It's been mainly hospital appointments. Still got the kitchen to tidy up. I bought some new baskets because we've got cupboards where you open the cupboard and things fall out. It's because hubby can't reach to the back of things and he's trying to do as much as possible himself. And there's some things he just can't do. He can't reach because obviously he can't get out of his chair. And even with the grabber, particularly in the kitchen, some things are too heavy to pick up with the grabber. So I've got these baskets now in the hope that he can pull the basket out with the things in and then pick them up from there. But it's just a case of getting him when he's in the mood that he wants to help, because obviously there's no point in me doing it, because he'll only turn around and say, well, if I'd have done it, I wouldn't have put it there, because that's just the way we are. I would probably say the same thing to him. You know, we've been together a long time. It's our 25th wedding anniversary this year, so where are we? 3, 4, 6. So yeah, I want to have a party. He just wants to go out for a meal. We need a party. He says, I don't want to have a party. I said, I know, but yeah, I mean, to be honest, when it was our 10th wedding anniversary, I wanted to go to Las Vegas and get married by Elvis. Well, remarried by Elvis. He was having none of it. So that didn't happen. And then I said, oh, well, I can't remember. I think I'd said for another one, I don't know. We've been going to do lots of things. And sadly we've not done them, and we were sort of contemplating possibly going to Las Vegas this year, maybe not this year, but maybe next year, you know, thinking about going abroad. Obviously going back to the diabetes and the kidneys and everything, that's unlikely to happen now. It was fairly unlikely to happen before, to be fair, but you know, it was one of those things that we kept pondering on, shall we say. But anyway, you know, these things happen. All I can say is, if you get the chance to do something, just go and do it. You will never know what is round the corner. Because blooming heck, if I'd have thought I was going to get to this age and be a carer for hubby, and hubby would be as poorly as he has been, then yeah, our lives would have been very, very different. I don't think we would have been quite as sensible as we've tried to be. So yeah, just go out and do it. Just do it. Because you don't know what's round the corner. Oh, I sound like my mother now. Oh dear. Yeah, things aren't impossible, but things are just very, very difficult. I know my brother's looking at going to Disney World. Sorry, Disneyland, Euro Disney or Disneyland Paris. I'm not sure which one it's called these days. We went there for our first wedding anniversary. Real romantic. No, we decided what we're going to do for our first wedding anniversary. So we said, oh, let's go to Paris. You know, romance, never been to Paris. Now, well, I don't know if he's been to Paris or not. I know he went abroad a lot when he was a child. His mum and dad took him away an awful lot when he was a child. He went to America when he was 6. And I mean, that was unheard of in those days, you know. I think, gosh. I think it was the 70s and nearly the 80s before I went abroad. So, yeah, he was going away in the 60s abroad. Wow. So, yeah, we decided, let's go to Paris. And we went in the car. We went across on the Channel Tunnel and had a massive row when we got across to France from the tunnel, because hubby kept saying, I need to fill the car up with petrol. I need to fill the car up with petrol. And I'm like, you haven't driven across the channel. And he went to put petrol in at this little French garage that was a few miles away from the tunnel. And of course he only put something like, I think it was still francs then. I don't think it was the euro then. Can't remember when the euro came in. I don't think it was the euro. And he only put something, well, the equivalent of like £1 of petrol in. And this garage owner wasn't very happy. And he was like, well, what a waste of time, you know. And then hubby did deign to say to me, oh, you are right, aren't you? He thought his petrol gauge had broken. He said, oh, that's all we need now. We've come abroad with the car and the petrol gauge is broken. And yeah, I just found things really, really funny like that. And that makes him even madder. So, you know, I'm just saying to him, well, you know, you haven't driven across the channel, because like you're in the Channel Tunnel for quite a while. It's not far across from Dover to Calais, but it's the waiting for the train to set off, waiting to get on the train, waiting for the train to set off, waiting for you know, to then to get on, and then waiting to get off. You know, it does take quite a while. It's not sort of a 5-minute job, as it were. It's not like you're just driving across on a road or anything, or driving through the tunnel. It's quite an experience, to be fair. I did hear one man saying to his son, oh, I hope you've brought your wellies. And the son's saying, oh, why? He says, well, when we're going through the tunnel, you know, you'll need your wellies on because it'll be wet in here. Frighten his child to death. Yeah, just scar the child for life. Oh, dear. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, it's quite an experience, you know, to do. I'm sure some people do it quite regularly with commuting and things, if they're going across with their job or whatever, but it's a bit different. We've been across a few times. We drove through to Belgium, went to Bruges. I think, yeah, we did. We went to Bruges once and drove that way and everything. And we've been across on the ferries, because we used to have North Sea ferries from Hull, and they used to go to Zeebrugge and to Rotterdam. And we've been across with the car a few times. We've taken the children across as well. That's really good fun. But sadly, they're not doing those anymore. The company that's not running them anymore. But yeah, it was always a really good, cheap holiday. You never slept on the ferries, of course, because the noise of the ferry is just really, really loud. So you don't really sleep. And then you get about, if you go to say Amsterdam, you get about 5 hours in Amsterdam. It was always good fun. We've always had a lot of fun doing that. So we took the children. But, yeah. Anyway, back to first wedding anniversary, waffling on as usual, Liz. And we went to Paris, and for whatever reason, after hubby's tantrum about the petrol, we then got on the wrong road, and we ended up spending 4 hours in traffic going around on the ring road around Paris, and not because, well, I don't really read French. I mean, I haven't done French since I was at school. I can speak a little bit, but not enough to get by, as it were. You know, it's yeah, just a token, a few words I can say and a few bits I can remember from school a long time ago. So we ended up not being able to sort of like find an entrance to get into Paris. And then as we're driving along, we just saw this sign for Disneyland Paris. And we just looked at each other and said, let's go to Disneyland. So we just drove up to this little booth outside one of the hotels and just said, have you got any rooms? You know, can we come and stay? So they let us through, and yeah, we ended up staying 2 nights. We were in the cowboy one. I can't remember what it's called now. Something ranch, is it? And yeah, we spent our first wedding anniversary watching the parades and pretending we were 6 and meeting Mickey Mouse. And I got to kiss Pluto. Oh, I love Pluto. He's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I did the usual thing of shouting, oh, it's Pluto. And he just came up to me. Oh, and I got a hug off Pluto. Well, that was it. That was me done. Oh dear, I've always been a big child. What can I say? I do like Disney. Only set in Disney, but yeah, it's just been great fun. And so yeah, we've always said we'd go back. We took the children, but sadly, because their birthdays are at the beginning of the year, we went in February, and it was absolutely freezing, and it slung it down with rain. So we ended up in those big plastic mats that you can buy. So everybody looks like a duck, and you've got yeah, big plastic like ponchos, rain covers. So, and it was very, very cold as well, but it was still good fun. I mean, it was still Disney, but yeah, it was, our time, our wedding anniversary. So what we'll end up doing this year, I don't know. As I say, I want to have a party, but the hubby's a definite no. We're not having a party. Whether we go out for a meal or not, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it feels like doing. If it's like the last few years. Oh dear. The first year he was in hospital, and it was our wedding anniversary. I did him a card anyway. So, you know, and he just picked it up, looked at it and said, who's this from? I said, well, it's from me. And I said, well, what are you sending me cards for? I said, well, because I'm your wife. He says, no, you're not. I said, oh, is there something you wanted to tell me here? Oh, bless him. He was on some very strong medication. Some parts of it was from things he'd had wrong, and cardiac arrests and horrible things like that. And some parts of it was just the medication he was on. He was on very, very strong medication. Yeah. I was his auntie one day, which was a little bit worrying because she'd passed away quite a while ago. So I thought, flipping heck, I must look bad today. Oh dear. Anyway, right, I'm going to put all these now into this bag. I'm not going to fill this pot up anymore, and I shall just work from the bag until until I've got them all used. So I can't think that there's this many on this picture. Look at the picture again. Well, I suppose there's a bit of the background, but you'd think that, no, maybe it's because it's one colour, whereas yeah, it's more of a flat colour, isn't it? Whereas I suppose the grass and everything, although there is a lot of grass, it's all different colour greens. So. let's work our way through these then and see where we end up. I sometimes think it's probably easier just to cut one at a time. By the time you've messed about trying to not spill two. So I think I'll just cut one at a time. We'll just do one at a time because I'm spilling them. Shall I do them all at once and just throw them up in the air and see where they land? No, I'm not that brave. Been picking them up for days. And I'm already picking up sparkly things. They've started getting into the bed again recently. I think Millie must be picking them up on a pause or something. Because, you know, I'm usually pretty careful when I'm doing my drills as to where the spares, well, the ones that pop off go. You know, I do rescue a few. If they're my specials, I do definitely try and rescue them. Some of them just disappear and you think, well, it's a special and it's a different shape, and you'd think it'd really show up somewhere and you'd be able to find it, but no, they just ping and they've gone. Right. Okay. So, well, I hope this video hasn't been too depressing for you. So maybe I should put a disclaimer on it saying, oh, possible bad news ahead. Well, I mean, it's not, you know, lots of people live with dialysis and put up with it, I suppose. But, you know, it keeps you healthier, then I suppose it's got to be better. But it's just, I think, because it's come on top of everything else, and just when we're starting to feel as though things are getting better, we just suddenly get a knockback again, and it's just been one step too far at the moment, I think, for us. So anyway, I've got this canvas that I'm going to be doing. I've got some special drills for Easter to get done. Cindy, Diamond Painting Fanatics, is doing spring flings and Easter things. If you want to go and pop across to her channel and have a look. And I think she has a Facebook page as well. I think it's Diamond Painting Fanatics Facebook page. Yes, she's doing. I suppose I could do this for spring flings. It's quite spring, isn't it, with all the flowers and the animals. Mind you, I'll never get it finished. I might get it finished if she does the same thing next year. I know she did it last year. So maybe if I aim to get it done for next year's spring flings. It's not easy to say, Cindy, I have to say. Then possibly I will... get it done for then. But I'm not in a rush to do it. I just feel as though I need to get it started. I want to try and get some of my older canvases out of the way. And I am a little bit iffy on the double-sided tape as to whether they will eventually dry out, because I know that normal sticky tape and double-sided tape that I use for crafting dries out. So, you know, it's sort of possibly it may dry out. I don't know. We'll have to see. Oops. I'm making a right mess here. Dear, dear. Be up, lass. It's a right mess. I'll just get these bits. June 3865. I've definitely got plenty of them. Ooh, let's be reckless and try and do all three at once without spilling them. What do we reckon? What do we reckon? Are they going to go everywhere, or am I going to manage it? Da, 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 da. We did it! Yay! End the video on a positive. My bin is absolutely crammed, but it's dustbin day tomorrow, so I can get rid of all my rubbish. Yay! Okay, so let's have a look. Pen can go back over there. Scissors can go back over there. Tray can go back on my little whatnot. And then this little key code inventory sheet will go in there. I haven't needed my labels, so I'll put those back over there as well. I'll put these, make sure they're fully sealed. Yes, they are. Oops. I've got a bit of air in them. Don't want air in them. that's that. So they can go in there as well. And we are all done. So, as I say, sorry it's been a little bit depressing, this one, a little bit sad, but these things happen unfortunately, and I'm sure we will carry on, and I will be here again with some more. I've got lots of unboxing videos to do, so keep watching because I've got some fantastic new stuff. Ah! As I say, things get bad, but there's always diamond painting. Okay, well, if you've enjoyed this little chat, a thumbs up is always much appreciated. It does mean a lot. If you've got any comments or questions, in the comments down below, and if you want to come back and see what I get up to next and join our little family, then if you press that subscribe button down in this corner and the all notifications bell that pops up, you'll be notified when any of my videos come out, so you won't miss anything. Yay! Okay, thanks ever so much for stopping by, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.